Good morning or afternoon, Burley Glenwood boys and girls, depending on when you choose to do your math. So today I will be teaching area lesson 1410. So I hope you have your digital version of your Daily Common Core out. I'm going to go over it with you as well as the lesson. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Is this the right one? Yes, this is the right one. So this one is just like what you guys have because I couldn't find the other version. So use the rectangle to answer number 1 and number 2. The rectangle represents an outline of Emily's room. 6 yards by 8 yards. What is the perimeter of Emily's bedroom? So remember, you have workspace over here. I do expect you to show the equation. So real quick, I'm going to copy and paste that so that I don't have to delete it later. So some people do it as a horizontal, and I am okay with that. So if you do 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 equals, that is all righty-dighty. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to do the final answer for you, but I have showed you what your equation needs to look like. So then once you have done that, you are selecting whether it's 48, 28, 24, or 14 yards. Now, what is the area of Emily's bedroom? Now, for that particular one, I want you to show me your equation. And on that one, we have A equals length times width. A equals 8 times 6. A equals, and you should end up with 6 and 8 go on a date. They come back with, there you go. So you are either circling 14, 28, 24, or 48. Okay, now what is the pattern? What is the missing number in the pattern below? 2, 6, 18, 54. That's kind of funky. So 2 to 6, well, I could add 4, but if I add 4, that's not going to get me there. What happens if what could I multiply by? 2 times what is 6? Well, 2 times 3 is 6. Is 6 times 3 18? Yes. Is 18 times 3 54? No idea. Let's find out. So I'm going to grab that. Control C, Control V, and I am going to set it up. So 6 times 18, that is the same as 6 times 10 plus, I'm going to stretch this, 6 times 8. Because this 10 and this 8, that makes 18. Okay, so I would have 60 plus 48, and I think that's 108. Oh, alrighty. Oh, I messed something up. I wasn't supposed to multiply that. Okay, brain's not working. So now you get to see Mrs. Mears fix a mistake. I was supposed to be doing 3 times 18 to see if that got me 54. So 3 times 18. We want to see if that equals 54. So I can do 3 times 10 plus 3 times 8. So 3 times 10 is 30 plus 3 times 8 is 24. And that does equal 54. Okay. So now you're going to continue that process. You're going to do 54 times 3. So you're going to do 3 times 54. And I'm going to set it up for you, but you have to find the final answer. So that is going to be the same as 3 times 50 plus 3 times 4. So you're going to have something plus something equals, and then an answer. So for this one, you do the 3 times 50, and that's 3 times 5, put a 0 on the end. For this one, just do 3 times 4, put that there. Once you have those two numbers, add them together, and it will be one of these. This would be one where watching the video is going to make all the difference in the world. Okay, mental math. So remember, it's supposed to be in our head, but I really like it when you show the work. Tickets to a local circus cost $5 for students and $8 for adults. A group of 9 people spent a total of $60. How many adults were in the group? That's lovely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is there is some amount times 5 plus some amount, oops, let me stretch this out. Hello. Times what were adults, $8? And they are spending a total of $60. Okay, we know we have 9 people. I can't do 9 times 8 because that's 72. Let's just experiment. What happens if I do 4 adults and 5 kids? Let's try. So let's try 5 kids. And let's try, what did we say, 4 adults? Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. And then plus 4 times 8 is 32. Well, that's not going to work because the 2 and the 5, that makes 7, and I need it to end in a 0. Okay, so I need, let's see what happens if I just flip the 4 and the 5. So let me put a 5 here and a 4 here. Okay, we are doing what's called guess and check, or at least that's what I'm doing. You're watching. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20, and 5 times 8 is 40. Oopsie, wrong button, not 402. Okay, 20 plus, ooh, that does equal 60. So this first part was the kids, and this part was the adults. So it ended up being 5 adults. Okay, woohoo! So if you watch the video, make sure you show the work. Don't just write 5 adults, that's tacky. Draw a rectangle that is not a square. So I give you the hint of how to find it. So come on over here on the left side is your shapes thing. You're gonna hit shapes again. Needs to be a rectangle. So remember, it has to be a 4-sided shape that has 90-degree corners. So you can't pick the diamond, can't pick the pentagon because that's 5 sides. So it needs to be a rectangle. So something like that. If you're like, no, I want it skinny going this way, that's fine. Could you rotate it? Yeah, you could rotate it. It still has 90-degree corners. So I'm going to delete that. What time does the clock below show? So it is not, I'm going to zoom in so we can see it better. And Chloe, you're not going to bark. No, don't bark. Don't bark. Okay, so I have zoomed way in. It is almost 1 o'clock. It is not quite 1 o'clock. It is still in the 12 o'clock hour. Then what I want you to do is I want you to count by fives. This is 0, so 5, 10, 15. Count your way around the clock until you get to here. And then you're going to put your digits on. So I'm not going to stop working. I'm not going to tell you what the final answer is on that one. I want you to do that one for yourself. Okay, I think that was all of them. Yay, that's all of them. Okay, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to delete all that stuff because otherwise I've just totally done it for you. So let's go watch the video. But let's get the sound working before we do. Yay, right thing. Hopefully, right video.
How can you use equal areas to model unit fractions? Ben folds a square sheet of paper into 4 parts. All 4 parts have the same area. How can he label each part? What does the area of the square sheet of paper represent?
So the whole sheet is your one whole.
The square sheet of paper is the whole. Ben could fold the paper this way into 4 equal parts. What is the name for each part?
So each of those parts represents 1/4 of the whole. Not sure if they're going to do something kind of funky since they have 16 little pieces in each part. Let's find out.
Since each part has the same area, it is 1/4 of the square. Why is each part called 1/4? Each part is called 1/4 because the whole has been separated into 4 equal parts that each have the same area. Is any area gained or lost when the square is folded into 4 equal parts?
It's not like they ripped a chunk off and threw it away. It's all still there.
No, the area of the parts is equal to the area of the whole. Ben could also fold the paper this way into 4 equal parts. What is the name for these 4 equal parts?
So they still represent 1/4.
Since each part has the same area, it is 1/4 of the whole. What is different about the parts when the paper is folded this way?
Are they squares anymore? No, they are long, skinny rectangles.
They have a different shape than the other parts. Is the area different when the paper is folded this way? No, the total area of the 4 parts is still the same as the square sheet of paper.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, pull up your workspace so that you can do your workspace with me. I am going to zoom in so we can see this better. There we go. So use 4 different color crayons. I already preloaded some colors for you. We've got light blue, kind of a lavender, a pink, and a green, kind of spring colors. So Linda wants to decorate one rectangular wall in her room with 4 different colors. She wants each color to cover the same amount of area. Draw a picture of this rectangular wall and use the 4 colors to show how she could paint this wall. How can each part of the wall be labeled using a unit fraction? So remember, it's the same amount of area. So if I decide, well, here's her wall. Okay, it could be as simple as that, but that's kind of small and that would be hard to label. So I'm going to make them bigger, but they still have to be equal size. It's up to you how big you make your parts. I'm gonna move these guys. There we go. Now I'm gonna bring this guy up top. Oh, maybe I'll do them as 3 chunks. Then I'll have plenty of room to write in them. Okay, I need to slide it down so that I can see the next guy. Someone is getting ice in my house. Our fridge died, so we have a new fridge. Special Mrs. Bears. Okay, so I'm gonna move these off to the side. Now I'm gonna grab these and I'm gonna stretch them because that would be a funny narrow wall, wouldn't it? Okay, now I got a nice big wall. Yay! Okay. So since I used 4 colors, the outside is representing my whole. This is representing 1/4. So I am going to do it like this. 1/4, and I think if I hit enter, yay, it made it just perfect. But I want it bigger because that looks kind of squishy. Do it this way. Let's go to 48. Ooh, yeah, that's a nice size. Okay, now I'm going to go Control C, Control B, Control B, Control B, and I can just plop it on top. So each of those represents 1/4 of my wall. Now, did I have to have it go that way? No. I'm like, I wanted it to go the other way. Let's see if I can do that. There we go, that works. Now I'm gonna turn all these little guys. So it's up to you which direction you have it. Please don't get overly wild and creative because I've got to count the squares and make sure you have equal amounts of each color. So if you're like, I'm gonna do a checkerboard, that would don't do that to me or Miss Hattelstad. That would not be nice. Okay. On to number 1. So I've already preloaded graph paper for you. It says draw a 6x3 rectangle, then draw lines to separate the rectangle into 3 equal parts. Okay, so 6 rows of 3. Okay, let's check. Do I have 6 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. It's just not quite. There we go. Now it's lined up better. 6 rows of 3. Draw lines separated into 3 equal parts. Okay, well, there we go. Hello. No, I want you straight down. Okay, well, that's being grumpy. Let me bring it over here, see if I can have it be straight. There we go. Control C, Control V. Okay, do you see how I separated it into 3 equal parts? Now it says draw another 6x3 rectangle. Draw lines to separate it into 3 equal parts another way. So I made this one powerful because I like powerful. So 6 rows of 3. Let's see, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this time I'm going to turn these guys. Okay, if I go like this, do I have 3 equal parts? No. These 2 are equal, but look how many are here. So that's not going to work. So let's move this guy. Okay, do I have 3 equal parts? I have 6, 6, and 6. That works. If you want your lines perfect, you're welcome to scrunch them and make them just perfect. So in number 3, in each rectangle, what fraction shows the area of one of the parts? So how many parts were in the whole? That's our denominator. And we're talking about the area of one part. So it's a unit fraction. So I need, there's my numerator. Now I'm touching the button that's like this. So that might be right next to your shift. It might be the button that has your question mark on it. And then I want a 3. And if I hit enter, then it makes it just perfect for me. It's just kind of little. Okay, number 4. Draw a third way Ben could fold the paper in the example above into 4 equal parts. I don't know if I have. So I'm not going to be able to stretch it so that I have 16, but I can make a 4x4 and then show you with a 4x4. Hello, stretch. So right now I've got a 3x3. That's not quite big enough. Maybe I could do an 8x8. Let's see if I have room for an 8x8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I got room for an 8x8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe a little bit bigger. So if I zoom way in up here, I'm going to zoom in so we can see that better. Hello, there's my plus. I was like, where'd it go? So I can see that they did like a big plus sign, and then they did horizontal. So they did them this way. I can do them this way. And I need to make sure that I have 16 in each of my little doohickeys. Okay, there's my lines. Okay, bring that guy up to the top. Now I got to bring him down, and hopefully he'll line up nicely for me. I thought I was stretching him. So much for that thought. There we go. That one's stretched now. Now I'm just going to do Control-C and Control-V. Okay. There we go. And there we go. So we notice we have an 8x2, and 8x2, and 8x2, and an 8x2. I'm going to zoom back out so that I can see what I'm doing. So that was zoomed in a little too much. Okay, number 5. Look at the rectangle you drew for exercise 1. Okay, well, let's go peek at it because I don't remember what I drew. Okay, so here's exercise 1. What is its area? What is the area of each part? So the whole shape was length. It was 6 rows of 3. The area of the whole thing was 18. Oh, darn, my box needs to be a little bigger. There we go. Area of each part. Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1/3 of 18 is 6 units squared. Okay, so if you need to pause the video so that you can have the same answers that I have, please do. Those of you that turn in your own wackadoodle answers, that makes me want to pull my hair out. Okay. So for some of you, that is your half hour of math. But others of you that like to get it all done in one day, let's keep going. For number 6 and 7, copy each drawing on centimeter grid paper. I already preloaded it for you. Show 2 ways to separate the rectangle into 2 equal parts. What fraction shows the area of one of the parts? Okay, it looks like a 4 by 4. So I need to draw a 4 by 4 to start with. Okay, there's one 4 by 4. And there's my other 4 by 4. So I need more of these things. So let's go like that. Now I have some choices. So I need to separate it into 2 equal parts. Well, let's go like that. Do I have 2 equal parts? 1, 2? Yep. Do I have 2 equal parts? Yes. Do I have to do it that way? No. On this particular shape, I could go, since it's a square, whoopsie, hello, I'm trying to move you. I could go like that. That works. So it's up to you whether you do a diagonal, whether you do a vertical, or whether you do a horizontal. Okay, and I forgot to insert a text box. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to steal this. Control C, Control V. Now I got to slide them up where I can use them. Blank shows the area of one of the parts. That is, remember, we want the fraction, and it should be 1/2. So 1/2 shows the area of one of the parts. Okay, number 7, show 2 ways to separate the rectangle into 6 equal parts. What fraction shows the area of one of the parts? So this guy looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's a square. Okay. We want a 6 by 6 square. There you go. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a 6 by 6 square. I'm going to bring this guy down. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to check that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I need 6 equal parts. Well, can I do this? Oh, they're too short. I thought I made them the right length. So much for that. So Control C, Control V, make a bunch of them. There we go. Now I'm going to move these guys off to the side. I'm still going to want to use them. So I'm going to move this guy because I am going to show you another way. Because some of you might be like, I want to do it a different way. And I want to be able to show you that you could do it a different way. So I want to rotate him. I do want to make sure he's the right length first. So are you the right length? No, you are too long. So let's shorten him up. Okay, now I'm going to put him where I want him. And now I'm going to make a bunch of copies. Control C, Control V. Okay, I think I have more than I need, but I'd rather have extras. There we go. Now let's double check that we have 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 equal parts. Now I am going to snag this guy. Control C, Control V, and I'm going to change his color once I move him. I'm going to move him over here. There we go. And I wish I could phone someone and say, hey, what color you want me to make them? But I can't do that, so. Let's go with another lovely spring color. Yellow, that's a little bright. So we do want to make it transparent. So I'm going to come to custom, transparency, and there we go. Now he's see-through. La. Now I am going to pull some out. I'm going to pull that guy out. And I'm going to pull that guy out. And I'm going to pull that guy out. So right now I've got thirds. Now in order to have sixths, I have to cut it in half again. So I'm going to grab this guy. Whoa! So I have sixths. So there's 3 different ways that you could do it. There's a 4th way, but I'm not going to take time to do that today. So what shows the area of one of the parts? So I need to come get that. Control C, Control V. One-sixth shows the area of one of the parts. Okay, remember, if you needed to pause it, you are welcome to rewind it a hair, pause it, so that yours matches mine. Number 8, model. Mary made a cake. Well, isn't she talented? Look, she decorated the top of it. To share equally among 8 people. Copy the picture below. You're not copying it. I've pasted it on there for you. Show how to divide the cake into 8 equal pieces. Label each piece using a unit fraction. So don't go whack-a-doodle. And make lines where there's not lines. So you're not going to have 8 go in this direction because there's no way to do that. So if I go like that, right now I've just cut it in half. And I can bring this guy over here. And now bring him here. And I've cut it in 4ths. But it didn't ask for 4ths. It asked for me to cut it in 8 equal pieces. And right now I only have 4. Now I can go like this. And I now have 8 equal pieces. I'm going to change the color because that doesn't show up very good. Let's see what would show up. Let's see if yellow shows up. Oh yeah, yellow shows up pretty good. Okay, now I forgot to give you a text box, so I'm going to grab this guy. Control C, Control V. Now my unit fraction is going to be 1/8. So 1/8. Oh yay, it shrunk it nicely. But I want that darker because that's hard to see. That's a little bit better. And I don't know that blue. Oh, yeah, it's blue. I don't know that's going to show up very well. So let's pick a different color that might show up. Yellow seemed to show up okay. So let's go with yellow. Oh, I don't know. That's going to show up. Oh, it does show up. Okay, I might just make it bigger though. 13. There we go. So it wants me to label each piece. That doesn't mean one, that means all of them. So I'm going to do the Control C, Control V function. So I've got 1. Now I'm going to need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I've got to plop them where they belong. So there's one of them. There's 2. There's 3. Hello, come here, little person. There's 4. 5. 6. Let's move you up so I can see you better. You don't show up very good. There we go. There we go. So I now have them all labeled. Number 9, use the table below. Which animal can run 2 times as fast as the mule deer? Okay, so something runs 2 times as fast as the mule deer. Okay, you might be going, well, why does she have this here? Well, this spot here is for the mule deer, and the mule deer is 35. So where it says type, I'm going to change that guy to 35. So now I need to think, what is 2 times 35? Well, you could just do repeated addition, 35 plus 35. And hopefully when you do that, you end up with 70. So now I need to look for the name of the animal that can run 70 miles an hour. Luckily not for very far though. So, but he wouldn't have no problem catching a human. Whoopsie, that's cheetah. Cheetah, if I could spell it right. There we go. Number 10, Noah's grandmother made a quilt for his bed. The quilt is made of 8 equal squares. What fraction of the quilt is 1 square? You want to select the unit fraction on that one. Number 11, Angie's teacher bought a crate of 48 apples at the market. She used 12 apples to make applesauce. Okay, so I need to start with the 48. She's using 12, so that means bye-bye, 12 apples. Equals, so 48 take away 12. La, 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 I think that's 36. Then she gave 25 apples to the students in her class. So she had that 36. 36 minus 25. How many apples does she have left? I'm not going to finish answering that one. You can subtract that. And then you need to label it apples. Please show your work. Okay. Is there another one hiding? What was that? Oh, there's more hiding. I thought we were done. Bummer. Okay, number 12. Quan wants to plant half his garden with flowers and half with vegetables. Copy the drawing on grid paper. Show 2 ways he could do this. So this looks like 4 rows of 6. So 4 rows of 6. Yep. 4 rows of 6. I'm not sure I drew that right. Oh yeah, that looks okay. Let's move that guy down so he's lined up a little better. Now, half. Okay, so you could cut it that way. So it does not say it has to be cut as a rectangle. You can cut it like that if you want. If you're like, no, I really like rectangles. Is that half? But that is, okay? So you've got some different choices as to how you could cut it. Okay, last one. Look at how Casey and Pilar divided their pizzas. Who divided the pizza into equal parts? Explain. Okay, so both of them cut their pizza into 6 pieces, but you have to explain who cut their pizza into equal size pizza. Into 6 equal size, size pieces, P-I-E-C. Okay, blank divided the pizza into 6 equal size pieces. So you have to decide, is that Pilar or is that Casey? Okay, now pause the video if you need a moment to get the digital quick checkup. I highly, highly, highly suggest you listen to my hints. The 2 by 12 rectangle. So all of these rectangles are 2 by 12. Shown below has been divided into 6 equal parts. Okay, so this guy is 6 equal parts. Each of the parts has how many squares? Each of them has squares. So you have to find another one of these whether it's A, B, C, or D, where each of the parts has 4 little blocks in it. So look very carefully. I think we'll all agree it cannot be A because that's way more than 4 little blocks, okay? So don't even consider A and pick one of the others and make sure it has 6 equal parts. Okay, and Mrs. Garcia made the quilt design shown below. What fraction shows the area of one of the parts? Okay, so one of the parts. So on all of them, they give you a numerator of 1. So you know that. And then you're looking how many parts is it cut into? Is the quilt cut into 3 parts? So 1 part is 1/3. Is the quilt cut into 4 parts? So 1 part is 1/4. Is the quilt cut into 6 parts? So 1 part is 1/6. Is the quilt cut into 8 parts? So 1 part is 1/8. And number 3, Tara folds a square piece of paper to divide it into 8 equal parts. What fraction shows the area of the square in each part? So they want the unit fraction. You want the unit fraction for if you take a square and you divide it equally into 8 equal parts. Number 4, the Reyes family cuts a pie into equal parts as shown, so each person gets an equal piece of pie. What fraction of the pie does each person get? Again, you want the unit fraction that represents within that shape. What is 1 part of that pie? What is the unit fraction? Is it 6/6, 1/6, 3/3, or 1/3? Corey baked brownies in a square pan. He cut the brownies to share with 3 of his friends. Okay, so this is one way he could cut it. Which of these is another way to cut the brownies so each person gets an equal piece? So remember, there's 4 people. Each person wants a piece. So you have to decide A, B, C, or D. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you did wonderful on this with the hints that you were given. You better have done better than that, though. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in a couple days for the next math lesson.